Welcome in, quick hitters. Welcome in, Goodymo short crew. It's Big Friday. Hope everybody is well. What a game last night, right? Nobody expected that unless you live in Detroit. 10-point favorites. I'm thinking they was going to at least win by 14, 21, but they shocked us. Two big plays in that game that changed everything. The drop ball and the fake punt. Now, the drop ball, that's not the reason why Kansas City lost the game. It's a cause of them losing the ball game, but not the reason why they lost the game. And you probably look at me and be like, what are you talking about? What you mean? Well, what I mean is Detroit came to play. And that fake punt was a key moment in that ball game, set the stage on, we're here to win it. We'll take some risks, whatever we got to do to win this ball game, but we letting you know we here all night. And it changed the momentum. It got their team pumped up. Coach set a tone, and they went out there and they played with their hair on fire, especially on defense. The defense, Detroit, showed up big time. I mean, tip balls, they put pressure on Patrick Mahomes, picked up some key first downs on his scrambling. They got that cleaned up, and they competed all night long. Now, I feel for Kadarius Toney. And I was looking on the Kansas City chat, and they was roasting this guy, Kadarius Toney. I mean, he can't catch. Cut him, trade him. Tony baloney. Tony let down Mahoney. I mean, it was everything. Get rid of him. He ain't worth a shit. And I'm sitting there looking in the chat, and I'm like, is these Kansas City Chiefs fans talking like this? Where is the hope? Y'all just won a Super Bowl. They're going to crucify one guy and blame it on one guy for losing that ball game. I saw that, and I was like, these people are crazy. Yeah, he made a mistake. He dropped the ball. He's actually a decent receiver. Now, what Mahomes was saying that he missed some time in practice. He's trying to get up to speed, but he fared well last year. Now, once you get in that funk and start dropping a ball here and there, it's hard to get that off of you once you get yourself in a little bind. But I think he's a decent receiver. I'm not going to say he's great, but he's a decent receiver. And he will make that catch. He will continue to make that catch if he has the opportunity. But to blame this guy for that loss, I don't know if I'll go that far. Like I say, it caused them to lose the game, but it ain't the reason why they lost the game. I mean, you got to give Detroit some credit. They hung around. Nobody expected them to even hang around in this game. So the credit has to go to them. And like I say, the fake punt and that drop ball was the key moments in this game. And Detroit got themselves in position to win it. Now you can say, which a lot of people are going to say, well, if Kelsey was there, if Chris Jones was playing, yeah, maybe so. Kansas City will win this game in that situation. But we're not in the sorry league or feel sorry for you or anything like that. You play with the guys that's out on the field. Injuries are part of the game. You lace them up, put out there what you got available. That ain't on Detroit. Detroit just going to line them up and play ball. So Kelsey there, Chris Jones there, would have been different. Yeah, it's a possibility, but hey, Detroit got it. 1-0 to start the season. And as far as me on my record, I'm 0-1. You know, I picked Kansas City to win this game, but I didn't want them to win the game. That was the key, so I don't mind being 0-1 on that one. But I'm pretty sure a lot of people lost some bets on that game for sure. But Detroit, they said they were going to come in this year and be a lot better than last year. They showed that and they proved that. This team looks like they're together and they're playing as one and got some talent over there. So we're going to see how the end of this season match up with them and their record. But getting Mahomes them on an opener in their building is big. It's real big. We're going to get into this box sheet. See what happened here. We had both of the quarterbacks play well, if you really look at it. Let's go ahead and take a peek. We're going to start with Jared Goff. 22 for 35. $253 yards. 7 on average. He had a touchdown. Jared Goff, he didn't play out of his mind, but he played good enough to win the ball game. So Jared Goff, he had a good game last night. As far as the running backs, David Montgomery, 21 carries, 74 yards, almost 4 yards on average. Like we said before, if you average 4 yards as a running back, you're doing your job. This here, I'm going to say he done his job at 3.5 with 74 yards, 21 carries. Gibbs right behind him with 7 carries and 42 yards himself. Who are the top receivers? Josh Reynolds, 4 catches, 80 yards, 20 on average. St. Brown, it seemed like every time you looked up, St. Brown was catching the ball, scrambling around on the field. But he had 6 catches and 71 yards, 11.8 on average and a touchdown. Marvin Jones Jr., that fumble that happened in that game, that's what I thought it was going to change the tide. That's when I thought Kansas City could go ahead and take control. Detroit had momentum on that drive when he created that fumble. That was a textbook hit. If you want to cause a fumble, that was textbook. When you put that helmet right on that forearm and you squeeze that ball out, you can't get more textbook than that. But that was a crucial moment in the game. They was in scoring position when Marvin Jones lost that ball, and I was like, oh, here we go. But it didn't cause them to lose the game. They was able to recover from that. Tackles, you got Alex Anzalone. He had 6 tackles, 5 solo. He had 1 quarterback hit as well. Derek Barnes, he had 6 tackles and 4 solo, 1 tackle for loss. So behind him, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, 5 tackles, 5 solo. So they singled themselves out. Brian Branch, he's the one who's got that interception all the way back for a touchdown. That was a big part of the game there as well. Tip ball, he grabbed it, he took it all the way in. Big play for Detroit. I think without that interception, it'd have been different. So defense had to make some plays for Detroit to win this game. You couldn't have Mahomes sitting up there having a clean game, throwing it around, being comfortable. He was comfortable on certain plays, but when they needed to make a play, which is Detroit, they made it. They stepped up. They bend, but they did not break. And just to be that close to Kansas City, that deep in the game, speaks volumes. Let's go over here and check out Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes, 21 for 39 for 226 yards. Almost 6 yards on average per pass, 2 touchdown passes, and 1 interception. Good game by Patrick Mahomes. Not the Superman performance everybody used to, but this wasn't on him. Drop balls was the thing that didn't make this look good for him. That was it. But he done his job. He's done what he needed to do. So good game by Patrick Mahomes. He even got 6 carries for 45 yards. And those scrambles came on 3rd downs. I mean, key 3rd downs, he was picking them up. 7.5 on average. So he did a little passing, he did a little scrambling. Pacheco, he had 8 carries, 23 yards. They did it by committee. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he had 6 carries for 22 yards, 3.7 on average. With Patrick Mahomes running and those 2 running backs, gave him a little even mix. But Mahomes led him in rushing. Let's go down to receiving. Marquez Valdes-Scantling. He had 2 catches for 48 yards, 24 on average. He didn't have too much action. Justin Watson, same thing. Gray. All these guys, 2, 3, and 4 catches. The drops were the huge ones. The drops were big. I mean, Andy Reid and Mahomes at the press conference, they weren't too happy with that. Starting out 0-1, and then when guys are dropping balls, something they're not used to. So those guys better watch out, especially Tony. All eyes on him. He's going to have to come in. He can't drop balls like that moving forward in these games, because once the eye is on you like that and you drop balls in this league, you can find yourself out looking for a job. And I don't want that to happen to that guy, because it can be tough. It can get tough once you get yourself in a funk. So he needs to get back, get in practice, do what he got to do to get his reps in, get time. It's all about reps. And once he get comfortable with that, we shouldn't see no drops from him. Where he's down, Kadarius Toney. He only had 1 catch for 1 yard. Man, 1-1, 1.0, and 1. 5 targets.
Oh, that's not good.
That's not good. The highlight of your night is drops as a receiver. And like I said on that chat, man, those fans, either they were bandwagon fans or someone were true fans, but the way they were talking in the chat sound like bandwagon fans to me, because you can't tell me for the life of me, when you have a team and you're all in on them and that's your team, you riding or die with them, you're not going to sit there and just blame one guy for losing the ball game. I don't care how crucial that drop was. You're just not going to do it, because you're going to say, well, if we played a little more tighter defense, it wouldn't have led up to that drop. We would have scored more points like we was predicted to do and blow this team out, or at least win by 10 or 14 or 21. That wouldn't have made a big difference. That's how you look at that. But yeah, he catches that ball, they're in field goal range, possibly to win this game. That's just how football works. It's a game of inches. Almost this, almost that. That didn't happen. But you don't go out there and blame this guy and say, you're the reason why we lost the game. Nah, that's too easy. That's way too easy. It cost them the game, but it's not the reason why they lost the game. Brian Cook, oh, he got a fumble recovery. I guess he the one who got Marvin Jones when he got popped. Ball just squeezed on out. Trent McDuffie, he had 8 tackles, 6 solo. Brian Cook, 7 tackles, 4 solo. Duplicated by Nick Bolton, 7 tackles, 4 solo. So they were moving around a little bit. But overall, man, yeah, Detroit came with it on the road. That's what shocked a lot of people. Let's check out the team stats real quick. First downs by Detroit, 19-17. We'll just look at the key plays for these stats. Third down efficiency, 5 for 15 for Detroit, 5 of 14 for Kansas City. That's pretty much even there. But you go down to total yards, 368 for Detroit, 316 for the Chiefs. Passing, 250, Detroit, 226 by the Chiefs. So they got them in total yards, they got them in passing, and you come down here, they got them in rushing as well, 118 and 190. So they got them in pretty much all facets of the game. I mean, the game was close, but to beat the Chiefs, you have to beat them in almost a lot of categories. The Chiefs don't have to play perfect to win, but their opponents do have to play perfect or close to perfect. Let's go down here, turnovers, 1 apiece. I mean, you got the interception, you got the fumble. Time of possession, 32 minutes and 38 seconds by Detroit. 27 minutes and 22 seconds by the Chiefs. That's something the Chiefs are not used to. Being out ball controlled. Detroit owned the time of possession, and that's what propelled them to win as well. When you got Patrick Mahomes sitting on that sideline and you're just sustaining drives, you got it. That's the best defense in the world, putting Mahomes right there on the sideline, watching your offense march up the field. So Detroit, man, they came with it. And they shocked a lot of people for this opener. So shouts out to them. Like I said, I'm 0-1. They're 1-0. Nobody expected it, but shouts out. I'm glad they got it done. There was some chink in the armor for the Chiefs. And the major chink is that everybody's going to talk about no Kelsey, no Chris Jones. Well, you're going to be getting those guys back, and then we'll see how that train going to continuously move. If it does, if they can get their mojo they had last year, get back to the Super Bowl. I'm not counting on it, but we're going to see. So that's the stat sheet for the game. And y'all enjoy y'all weekend. Not going to hold y'all too long. This is Big Friday. Everybody got things to do. Work and setting up fun, preparing with the family, whatever you're going to do. But enjoy it and be safe. This Goodymo Sports Quick Hits. And we out of here. Peace.